My question for you is, it's one of process, like how I would love your guidance on techniques on how to deal with certain circumstances that come up. Um, and it's not that dissimilar from what Michelle was discussing earlier, where your day can be going along and you can feel like things are fine, and you can have a circumstance come up that might be considered unwanted or displeasing. And I personally can find it sometimes difficult when something like that happens to remove my mind from the focus of the event that was unwanted or displeasing that happened. Not unlike if someone said, don't think of a pink elephant. You're going to, it's very difficult to not think of what has your attention. And so I'm just looking for advice or, guidance on how you shift your focus when these things occur.
It is a good question. It happens to every one of you every day. One must consciously accept and understand that every experience you have is a mirror reflection of a belief. And if you understand that, then you can understand that any time you have encountered an unwanted experience, it was you that created it. And again, I do not say that for any level of self-recrimination to occur, merely only to understand the process at the beginning, because you asked a process question. And if that can be your first thought, then you are able to take a step back from the unwanted emotions that are arising from that experience, and you can begin to retool it. And so the first understanding is to appreciate the opportunity to recognize something occurring in your physical life that is a direct reflection of a limiting belief. And so I will first use the example again of what happened to Michelle. She forgot it was there, that technology is not her friend. This is her belief. It was not true. It is a limiting belief that she is not good at technological things. And so when she bumped into it, she did not engage the process that you and I are discussing right now, which is, first, understand that you have created it. Second, appreciate that you created it, because it is offering you an opportunity to make the necessary adjustments, which you want to make the necessary adjustments. So if you can find the appreciative thought for the unwanted experience that you are feeling, that you are experiencing, if you can feel appreciation for it, your energy begins to shift in a way that allows you the ability to effectively deal with it on terms that are more desirable, that has a desirable outcome. And so, one, recognize that you created it. Two, appreciate the opportunity that it provides you to identify a limiting belief. Once you have identified that limiting belief, you can remind yourself that you are in control, that you always have been, and that now is your opportunity to alter that belief to a different belief that will mitigate, ameliorate the circumstance that you are experiencing. And understand that your rational mind is going to want to kick in with possible solutions, you see. But the process that I am describing to you right now is a process of energy work that begins in your mind. First, you are altering the energy that from this unwanted, undesirable experience into an opportunity that is appreciated. Now your energy is moving. It is shifting away from what you are initially feeling. And now when you have moved your energy into that place with those two thoughts, you can effectively deal with it. And you can remind yourself, I know how to solve this problem. and I know how to effectively deal with this problem. Let me stay quiet for just a moment because I know it will come to me. And you will engage the intuitive aspects that are you, as much you as your body is, as much you as your five senses are, and you will be able to deal effectively with that issue. If you would like to use a particular example, we can use that more visually so that you understand it in practice.
Well, I mean, I understand a lot of this process of knowing that I created it and knowing that I have the power to, create something else and to learn from this experience. I guess
But you are
part of
not
it,
in the habit, you see, of that being your response to an unwanted circumstance. You said in the beginning in your question that
yes,
you wanted a process. Well, like anything else, that automatic response to an unwanted circumstance becomes automatic when you have practiced it being the first response. The first few times is going to be a little tenuous because you are still forming the habit of response, you see, until you experience a challenging situation and then it becomes automatically your first response. You
yes,
understand?
yeah,
And so the first two steps are the triggers, are the energetic triggers that will allow you to move into that new energy space. But in order for those two responses to become automatic, you have to apply it consciously to every little thing that is unwanted, no matter how small, no
yeah,
matter how big, because it's the practicing of those first two movements of energy shifting that's going to make it an automatic response. And of course, she has not practiced it either, as you can see
right,
from my description. And why? And this is very important for those who have evolved to a level of control of their energy frequency, of, as you call it in your terms, your vibration, to where most of your experiences and throughout your days are wanted, where, as you call it, you are manifesting regularly in ways that please you and delight you and reaffirm the authority that you have over your life. And see, for those of you who are at the level where you can feel comfortable calling yourselves masters of energy, yes? You're so used to creating experiences that delight you that when the hiccup comes, you're not in practice of implementing a process, a thought process, an energy process. For thought is energy that will allow you to maneuver around the unwanted automatically. For
yep,
instance, the same time in the same day when she created this technological challenge, and the same time she manifested something that was desired. What a mind walk that was for her, I will tell you, to have created from a limiting belief and also manifested from an authentic belief that is in harmony with who she really is at the same time, you see. So the daily experience is full of the unwanted and the wanted. And so if you can identify something, even mildly something that you would rather see improved, you can consciously then use these first two thought processes to, which is going to alter your energy about your circumstance, your unwanted circumstance. But the way to make that automatic is to practice it. And it is a conscious practice daily. So if there is something that you're observing, if there is something that you heard that is even mildly annoying, or maybe not annoying at all, perhaps it is just something that doesn't really impress you, you can use that to practice the first two steps. I am encountering this because I created it. I created it as a reflection of a limiting or false belief that is still within me. I'm glad that that's happening. The moment you start to express appreciation for the unwanted, you have moved yourself entirely around that circumstance, and you have prepositioned yourself to engage the intuitive aspects of yourself. But it is the first two thoughts that are going to create the new energy regarding the unwanted circumstance. And it is the repetition of this practice every day that is going to make it automatic. And here's the wonderful thing about that. If you can do it for a hangnail, if you can do it for a late delivery, if you can do it with an encounter with a person who is not in alignment with you, if you can do it no matter what, when the large, what you call large in your term, when something much bigger in your reference occurs that is unwanted, it will be automatic. Do you see the power and the grace in that? You do it automatically for a hangnail, or you do it automatically in a tragedy. It is the same, and it is the same energy swing, and it is that ability to swing your energy automatically, no matter what, that makes you less conditional. It makes you less prone to the issues of attachment in your physical world. That makes you able to raise your vibration, as you call it in your terms, higher. This is how you move to the next level of yourself, the next level of you in another alternate reality. In this reality, you are expressing the version of you that says, I am not able to do this automatically or easily. But there is a version of you who says differently. And he says, it's no problem at all. I don't experience really a lot of negative feelings for very long seconds, really, only seconds, the seconds that it takes me to energetically pivot myself away from that level of energy, those vibrations, those negative emotions. It only takes me seconds now to move over. He does not say that. There is a version of you that you have created that automatically knows how to utilize the intuitive aspects of himself to solve any problem, to deal with any issue, any challenge, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And the process that you and I are discussing now, this two-step process of maneuvering your energy through your thoughts, is what is going to enable you to shift, that is, close the space that is between this reality of you and that reality of you. This two-step process and the forming of it, of a habit, an automatic response to challenges or unwanted circumstances, is what's going to close the gap of space that is between these two realities, this version of you and that version of you. And when you close it, you will feel it in your body, and you will know that you have moved into that next reality. And that reality where he exists, that version of you, is experiencing life very differently than you are right now because of that one shift.